Within minutes of arriving in South Korea's second biggest city, I felt like there was something bubbling underneath the surface. An energy I haven't felt in many other cities in the world. Today, we peel back the curtain of an overlooked city. A city with lively markets, diverse neighborhoods, the friendliest locals, and breathtaking beauty. Welcome to Busan. I showed up in Busan on Saturday afternoon and took the metro into the center. I popped out of the metro station and bam, it was sensory overload. People everywhere, music, street performances, cars and buses going this way and that, smells of street food and Korean barbecue. It was insane.
There's just so much happening, like your eyes can't focus on any one thing.
I grabbed lunch with a robot before wandering around waiting for my Airbnb to be ready. And everywhere just felt alive and buzzing. Although I was eager to explore, I didn't want to stray too far away from my Airbnb in case it was ready early. It wasn't, but we got in around 5 and freshened up before hitting the town. It was street food for dinner, and this was just the start of what the streets had to offer. Bellies full, it was time for Saturday nightlife. This is when I first realized the city and country are so underrated. The people here are unbelievable.
Well, we got quite the warm welcome into Busan. We're just sitting here at this local bar here, and a guy turns around, strikes up conversation, a local Korean guy, and after a short little conversation, he decides to buy us a round of drinks.
As the night progressed, we met more and more people willing to talk and give tips and advice. I've met some friendly people on my travels, but nothing like here. The night turned into the early morning hours and soon into the next day. I needed to go grocery shopping, and unfortunately the store was closed.
Well, I just translated this sign there behind me, and it says that it is closed every first and third Sunday of the month. It must be the third Sunday of the month.
This turned out to actually be a good thing. It's how I discovered what the streets of Busan really had to offer. The markets have everything you could ever want. And these are the kind of markets that aren't about tourism and overinflated prices. This is where the locals shop. The shopkeepers were hawking their wares and trying to get us to bite.
Everything about this city just feels like it's something that you can, easily explore. Like, there's just something around every corner.
Everything your heart could desire was on sale, but fish and produce were the main selling points. Unfortunately, as a budget traveler, I wanted to see the grocery store prices before committing to anything. So I just walked and observed. Loading up on more street food, we weren't going to let our day go to waste, and this is where Busan really starts to shine. We took the metro half an hour from the downtown core of Seomyeon to the beach. And this is the next highlight about Busan and why I think it's so underrated. The diversity of the neighborhoods in this city is unmatched.
This is a cool area, like a really, really cool area. Some of these bars here, people are just sitting out looking at the beach, beautiful view. It'd be so much better if it was a sunny day out. I swear to God, I film every day when it's cloudy. I don't ever film when it's actually sunny. I don't know how I get so unlucky.
We spent the rest of the day here before heading to a dramatically different neighborhood the next day. This is the hillside neighborhood of Gamcheon.
This is completely an uphill battle.
On the way up to the neighborhood, we were treated to some amazing views.
Well, we're not even at the top and we're sweating buckets here and kind of dying, but we got this beautiful view of the city. The rain hasn't really started that hard yet. You can see basically the whole entire city behind me. Wow, this is why you travel for these kinds of things. You get to see these beautiful views. Just shows you how big Busan really is. It's not a tiny city.
We'll come back to this spot in a couple of minutes. This is the hillside neighborhood of Gamcheon. Although it's an area that's slightly touristy, it's yet another example of the diversity and complexity the city has to offer.
It's kind of like a favela in Brazil, and I'm not sure if I'm gonna ever really get to Brazil. It might be on my list, but I'm probably not ever gonna go into a favela, so it has a bit of the same kind of feeling about it without it being, sketchy. Alright, maybe I judged the book by its cover a little too soon. I mean, it's got a bit of a souvenir shop kind of thing going on in the beginning, but, you kind of do end up being a little bit like alone in these alleys. It's really, really neat. Like, you can see it's just tons of like color and art, and you can see all like this art behind me here. But like, there's really nobody around here except for good old Jessica.
This is yet another unique landscape that helps create Busan's stunning diversity. Within an hour, you can be in the hustle and bustle of the downtown, on top of a mountain overlooking the city surrounded by nature, hanging out on the beach or walking around a hillside neighborhood. Most cities that are described as diverse usually are diverse because of the people and cultures within it. Busan offers that diversity plus a diverse landscape and geography that adds even more to its desirability. It's a city with something for everyone. By the 5th day in, we felt like we barely scratched the surface of this city. It's a city that feels both big and small due to the fact that it sits in between the various mountains.
Just crazy here, you can really see behind me how Busan really is the city that fits within all these valleys. You can see the mountain right behind me here, and like the city just kind of snakes its way all the way through all the little valleys. And like this is like this everywhere. Like behind me over there is another mountain and everything just fits its way on through. It's really a very, very unique city.
Remember I said we'd come back to this? But seriously, the city's a major population center with 3.5 million people spread across over 750 square kilometers. So many cities in Asia, and the world for that matter, are recommended on blogs, in magazines, and on top 10 lists. And Busan seems to rarely be recommended, and I don't understand why. On top of some of its unique and diverse landscape, buzzing atmosphere, and welcoming people, I think some of the biggest reasons this city is so underrated is that it's also extremely safe, reasonably clean, it's ultra modern, and it's easy to get around. I rarely see Busan come up as a must-see city, but instead see cities that wouldn't appeal to many average travelers. Cities with high crime rates, cities that are challenging to navigate, cities that are run down and dirty that don't offer any extra culture for their cons. Or, on the minimum, extremely touristy cities that are extremely expensive.
It's day number 7, and today I'm hiking up this mountain that I wanted to hike up ever since I got here, because apparently the views at the top are absolutely amazing. Looks like it's a bit of a hike ahead of me. It says it's about 40 minutes to the top from the end of the bus, and I got off one stop early, which kind of sucks. But 40-minute walk, straight uphill, but supposedly it's just this amazing view of the city, so really excited to get to the top. You know, since I got here a week ago, I've got to experience a lot of the city in a short period of time, and on this walk I'm just really reflecting what I love so much about it, why I think it's such a hidden gem, such an underrated city. I think it's this massive combination of amazing people, diverse landscape and neighborhoods. It's got the big city feel, but also still feels like a small town. You have the nightlife, but you have the nature as well. It has so much to offer on top of being clean and modern, safe. I really haven't been to a city like this before. As you can tell, I'm sort of struggling here, but it takes a little bit of struggle to travel. And I wouldn't give that up for a bit of an easier life. Oh my God, we finally made it. Let's see what this view looks like. You know, since I got here, I said that there was something bubbling underneath the surface, and I think what that was a feeling of connectedness. You know, the people to each other, to their city, to the nature around them. You see views like this, you really get it put into perspective. So overall, is Busan an underrated city, a hidden gem in Asia? I definitely think so, and I think you should definitely consider coming here. It's an amazing city. I guarantee you won't be disappointed. Put it on your bucket list, trust me.